So what type of recommendations do you have for people who have to speak but have chronic hoarseness due to abnormal vocal cords? And do you have any tips? Yes, I do. There's a great thing that you can get, honey that you can get at the health food stores called propolis. So it comes either in a little jar or you can have drops, but it's a real soothing thing on your voice. You can also get throat coat tea just at any grocery store. That's very helpful. Black licorice, if you like it, is good for the throat. You might want to start with some hot water with a little bit of honey and lemon, and then go to room temperature water, just to clear it out, and then go to room temperature. You want to keep your vocal cords not too stretched out and not too tight, and that's why room temperature is best. Let's see, there are things that also that you can get. I think some sprays. I've heard of some things that some doctors give out, and I don't have the names of them, that might be prescription, that people who take a lot of medications or come out of the hospital, that they have hoarseness from a respirator or something like that, or having tubes down their throat, that they'll give them some sort of special thing. So if it's really, really bad, you might want to talk to a doctor for very special medication to go with it. But typically with people, it's like honey and hot water, and then room temperature, that kind of thing. And like I said, the throat coat tea is awesome. Oh, they also have something called these pastels. They're from Greyer's. I can't remember what they're called. I don't have them anymore because I liked them so much. I just kept eating them like candy, and I figured I better not get them. But they have glycerin. They're glycerin candy. So, and it's sort of like a gummy bear or a gummy bear. I lived in Germany. We called them gummy, and then out here it's gummy. So I had to. So anyway, that has, and then it just releases some of the glycerin on your throat, which feels really good, and it's quite tasty. Pastille, so something, Grether's pastilles, or something like that. I'm not saying it quite right, but those are other options that some people use. And just lots and lots of water. I mean, water's your friend. Good. So I think, yeah.
And Ken thanks you for your answer. And we got one from a Nicole Alexis in Atlanta, and I'm going to read it because we keep losing our chat. I have an agent who only submits me to the same 4 companies. I want to do more varied work. Is it wrong to do searches on my own to branch out?
Absolutely not. You are the only person responsible for you. A talent agent has all these other people to take care of, and you're the only one that knows, that lives in that body. So the more opportunities you get, the better. What you do to build the relationship with your agent is you go out and you market the heck out of what you're doing, get jobs from all the other places, give them a commission. They become more of your friend, and they will send you out on more stuff because they see that you're working together rather than you're working separately. So definitely market. Everyone does in this business. When you go to a party, you're marketing. When you're talking to a friend of a friend, all of a sudden they realize that they need you, or they know someone else. So it never stops, really, because there's so much voice in all the products. As soon as you get out of the car, your door is ajar. Please, you take something, please stand clear of the door. There's all this stuff talking at us, don't park in the white zone. Anyway, so the things are constantly talking to us, yeah. And they're kiosks, too, so you push buttons and they talk to you. So, games and apps and all this stuff is constantly talking to us, and they need people. And a lot of people don't know where to go. So that they don't know that they're talent agents. I know when I first got into voiceover, I never realized that there was a business in it. I watched it. I watched commercials growing up. I watched cartoons and shows. I just never thought about it. So this is there are other people who have never thought, where do I get those people either? Now with a couple movies that have come out recently, In a World, and I Know That Voice. that people are becoming a little bit more aware of voiceover. And that one guy, who the homeless man that they found and then try to get him work. So all of a sudden people go, oh yeah, voiceover. I think I'll either be a doctor or do voiceovers. I was like, well, what I've decided, what I like, yeah, they're real close. Well, what I like about this is that we don't have to go to all that extra schooling because we get to play them on TV. We don't have to do our residency, and we don't have to look at blood. We just have to talk about it. So sometimes, so now I'll be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, anything, but I don't have to actually work in those environments. I work in front of a microphone, so that's really fun.
A couple of things.
Sure.
So Mary Darby thanks you for your great recommendations, and Nicole Alexis has a follow-up. Her agent also says Atlanta VO artists are hard to market to New York and LA, etc. Nicole feels that's not the case. What do you think?
If I call it the San Francisco Chinese restaurant theory. San Francisco has a lot of really good restaurants, and especially a lot of Chinese restaurants. Do we need another one? Absolutely not. But if you open your doors and it's the best Chinese food that we've ever had in our life, we will be there. And that's what you have to prove, is that you are better than the other people, that they're missing you. And don't listen to the other people, because when I first started out, it was the same thing. Don't get into this business. It's too hard. It's a closed field. People will tell you that because they don't want you in it. And if you go away with that, it's something that you've chosen to do because you were worried by what they did. Now, I had many doors closed on me, and they said, don't do this. But I was like, I want to do this. I'm determined to do this. So I just kept on knocking on those doors and until they opened. And that's what you have to decide to do. So I think we're going to end this little section right now, and we'll come back in just a few moments.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Yay!
Wonderful.
And we're back. So what we're going to work on now is about performance. We talked about the business in the first part, and this one is about performance. And what we do when we look at a script is that we basically sing talk. So we're going to go through a list of different ways that you can sing talk. This is also in my book, There's Money Where Your Mouth Is. So one is with a dot. So if you mark your copy, because you got to have a way of just marking copy, and just put a dot over something, that becomes staccato, so it becomes really crisp. So it says on here, it's a firm, crisply stated word with a short staccato manner. So if I was going to say the sentence, that is correct, I go, that is correct. So I just have a pop on that word. Oh, if I want to make correct the one that's staccato, that is correct. So it gives it a little pop. What happens with American speakers is that we speak in 4/4 times, so everything ends up being very even when we read, and we don't want it to be that even. We want it to be syncopated, and that means it goes more like Gershwin rather than John Philip Sousa. It's not a marching band kind of beat. It's it's going to have a change. Another one is carrot up. So that's where the voice rises in pitch on a single word and then down on that same word. So if I do it on the word that is again, that is correct. That is correct. So you can hear, if I go, that is correct. I just did it on that one word, rather than that is correct, which isn't very interesting to hear. You can do the opposite, which is the carrot down. So that would be, that is correct, or that is correct. But now I've gone from this word down, and I'm back at that same note. So you could just mark that right above or below a word when you want to change that melody. Another one is a little haze or vocal difference, so that has a little wiggle wobble. So you can do it with jazz hands. So that is correct. If you want to, you can do it with a head bobble. That is correct. Oh, that is correct. You can do it with eyebrows. That is correct. Something that you can do it with shoulders. That is correct. So anything that moves on that one word, not the whole thing, because if I go, that is correct, it's all too even. And what we're trying to do is find a word that is going to answer a who, what, why, when, where, how question, so it will stand out. You can also stretch out words, and one way to do it is with gestures. That is correct. That is correct. So just by spreading out my hands, the word's going to be slower. It's going to be faster if I have a quicker movement. That's what we do every single day. We gesture. We raise our shoulders. We point to things. And an example would be if I say, tell you, will you go get my keys? I left them on the kitchen counter. You're going to go, what? But if will you go get my keys? I left them on the kitchen counter. It has a movement that goes along with it. And so we want to have people move and do things rather than just hear it, where we have to process it. So voiceover's job is to support and to allow the words and the information to sink in without having to go through a couple extra synapses in our brain. So another way you can do it is making it parenthetical. So you can use our hands as parentheses. So go, that is correct, or that is correct, that is correct, that is correct. So that's another option. Now you have dip down. You have that is correct. That is correct. So you see how it's in slightly different pitches. So I can also do it, that is correct. But they're even, but they're at different pitches. You can also separate your noun, your verb, the subject of your noun with a wiggle wobble. So go, that is correct. That is correct. So you have to be careful of those because it can get too sing-songy though. So maybe every once in a while you can do that, but not a lot. The other one is a hook, and a hook is something that it just makes a quick movement right on on a word, very specific word. So if I go, that is correct, that is correct. So it has a little quicker, little curve to it. And then you can also arrow up, that is correct. You can also arrow down, that is correct. So if we count these up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 choices of how to read a simple sentence that has 3 words. So this becomes a whole, when I was in college, I had a teacher that was a little bit crazy, and she would put out marbles in jars with different colors in those marbles in each of those jars, and she would make us guess how many, what different permutations and combinations it would be to have 6 marbles in a jar. So, based on 10 marbles, on the counter. So just to illustrate a point so that you can, and there are math problems to solve it, none that I can remember now, but there were at the time. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. So now you have all these options, at least 11 ways to read that one simple sentence, and yet when we read something, we think that's the only way. Actually double it, because we said that is correct. I made the focus on that one time, and I made the focus on correct the other time. So it makes it 22. 22 choices right there on that one sentence. The only thing that's wrong is no choice. Variety is your friend. And that's where keywords are important. And our body does it naturally. And that's what we're going to get into, using the body. And then we're going to visualize everything that we're saying. We have to create a 3D environment. So it's not just us reading, copying in front of people. It's more than that. We have to add melody, which is that system that I just showed you a moment ago. You want to change the tempo in a sentence. We usually have 3 different speeds, slow, medium, fast. You got to figure out what's slow and what's fast. So if we are always going, I want you to go to the store. I want you to go and buy milk. All of a sudden it's like, what is that? I want you to go to the store. I want you to buy milk. All of a sudden it goes fast, slow. I'm slowing down on the key words. Now this sounds really easy, but we have been trained not to read that way. So we read in that steady pattern, and that's why I have this school that trains people to how to get out of that, and that's why the by the book and this system is so important, because you can think about it intellectually, but performance we'll see in just a moment when you guys get to come up and show an example. Then you'll realize how it doesn't really work. You want to sound natural like you. One of the things that happens when you're reading copy that you don't believe in because you just got those words, our voices get higher, and we actually put a question in it. And sometimes we get really quiet when we talk about the product. So those are all ways that we show that we are lying in our own mind. Because we know anyone who has kids, or you guys are apparently all children at one point, I'm guessing, unless someone's Benjamin Button here. But they, and you will be eventually. It'll just take a while. Anyway, so when you're, I forgot where I was going with that one. So, what was I saying? Someone in the audience. Okay.
Not believing what you're saying.
Oh, believing what you're saying. So when you believe what you say, we know that with kids. So if a child says, you say, Johnny, I think that you hit Freddie. He goes, I didn't do it. And the voice goes up. The parent always knows that kid is lying. So it's already in our system, and that's why they have people at trials to find out if someone's voice is changing. And they're listening for this stuff that are dead giveaways that we're not telling the truth. So we have to then change our thinking process to say, everything I say is true, and everything I say I believe. And that's a hard process, but we need to do that so that we can all get it. So here we are, voice one. So yeah, and those are ways to contact me. I was going to say that for the last thing, but that's so. Why don't you go back one so we don't have to look at that the whole time? That's fine. Let's look at techniques, because this is what we're going to work on right now. Now, our studio audience has not looked very much at these scripts, but what I'm going to do is provide a lesson. And this is really going to be more about how to use the body than anything else. How does it work? How does the body change it? And one of the things I learned in working on this other video game not video game, but it was an anime series called Saikano, or as they say in Japan, Saikano. Then when I was directing that one, I asked the producer if I could hire some of my students for some of the characters, and she said, yes, as long as they have soft brains. I said, what do you mean? I said, that they're not hard-headed, that they'll take direction when you give it to them. So that's really what we're working on, is how to have a soft brain, how to, when we're out there, that we're not overthinking, we're not going past. We're not thinking, beating ourselves up because we didn't do the performance that we wanted to do, but we're staying present. And if I say, make it faster, you just make it faster. You don't analyze it, you don't do anything. And then when you're able to do that, this business is very easy. We're the ones that get ourselves in trouble. We're the ones who create the block for whatever reason. So what we'll do is I'm going to, one at a time, like maybe you can start first, and then we'll go around, and just say your name, and you're going to read whatever script you picked out. So you got other ones can look at other ones, so we're not working on the same script every single time, but it's okay, because it's always good to mess up. This is always a bigger lesson if you mess up, so don't try to feel like you have to be perfect. So I'm just going to move the script out of the way. And what you do when you get up to the stand, it's really simple. You just do this. And you put the copy on the stand. You don't have to, if you're tall, we might be able to raise it, but I think because of the mics and how it's set up, we'll just leave it here and just put it there. If the script that you have is at the bottom of the page, what I want you to do is then bend it in half, and then you can look at it, just fold it, and then it'll stay there a little bit better. So that's what we're going to do. So why don't you come on up? You get to go first.
Okay.
Yay! Yeah, so what we're going to do is start with your slate. And this is also what I look for, is the more mistakes you make, the more lessons everyone else learns. So when you're up here, you don't learn. When you sit and you watch, you learn. It's a completely different thing. So if you can watch someone make a quiche, and then you can, try to make it on your own, but you might not have all the ingredients. So, okay, here we go.
Okay.
Slate your name first. Now, are you already doing something that's wrong?
Oh.
Thank you. Love
You guys
it.
are gonna learn
you
a
did
lot.
another thing that's wrong. You did another thing that's wrong, and a third thing that's wrong, and going to a fourth. Perfect. Okay, here are the things.
What do I do with these?
Exactly. That's my point. It's like it was planned. It wasn't. Actually, this is the first time. We just met seconds ago. Anyway, one of the things is protection, holding onto the stand. Don't need to hold on to it, because that's protection. So your voice will sound different if you're feeling protected than if it's loose. Oh. So listen to, this is my voice here where it's like this is my voice here. This is here, it's more tense, and then it gets looser. So it's a completely different thing.
Okay.
So that was the first thing. Then you naturally went to what I call the at ease. So then at the at ease means I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to fight you. I'm I'm not going to really be involved in what we're doing right now. And that's why that was created by the military, so that they would say, I'm not going to fight you. So now you're doing like this. So now usually when people do that, they do one of two things. Your immediately thing after that was dead arms. So dead arms means no energy. And then you went to, this is perfect though, it's not making fun of you.
I never know what to do with these.
That's what I'm telling you now, that's why it's a lesson. And then the other one is fig leaf. Yeah, so now so those are the only 4 positions we want to stay out of. And you did that perfectly. Thank you very much. Okay, so because that's part of it. So what we do is then we use our hands. You want to shake them out, get them ready to go, because it's so weird. We spend our whole life knowing how to move our hands and gesturing. As soon as we get a script or we get in an awkward situation, we go, I have no idea what to do with these appendages. And all of a sudden, sometimes people even walk and they stand stiff. That takes more effort. They don't even swing normally. It's odd. So, okay, so now you want to make sure that you move them, that they're ready to be used.
Okay.
Okay, and now go ahead and read, and then we'll see what else.
I'm Christine.
Okay, you're Christine. Hire me. Thank you. That was another awesome job of demonstration that we can learn from. You're so good. Okay, so, but these are things that you don't know. This is the first time
Right.
you've ever done this, which is why when you said I should bring people who already know, I said people who don't know, it's a much bigger, better example than bringing people who already do it, because then you'll go, oh, everyone just does it that way. So let's pretend like I'm at a job interview. Hi, I'm Elaine Clark. I can really do this job for you.
Next.
Exactly. Yeah. So you want to have a downward inflection. So we're going to do this right now with you, because we're going to say your first name on your right hand.
I'm Christine.
No, don't
Oh.
go Christine. It also goes that then it says you're not confident. It has a question in it. And it says, yeah, I'm Christine, just pay me for this job. I really want it. It'd be awesome. And so, no. So another thing you do is point your hand down. I'm Christine.
I'm Christine.
See? Isn't that better? Just by gesturing down. Okay, so now get rid of the I'm. Just say your name.
Christine
And now your last name on your left hand.
Samra.
Yeah, so Christine Samra. There you go. Now do that again.
Christine Samra.
Beautiful. Yeah. Rather than,
cool.
and that was better than I'm Christine, hire me, I really want to do this. This is awesome. Okay. So now go ahead and read your copy. Let's see what else happens.
Whether your meal calls for a beefsteak tomato, a Mexican-style tomato, or a cherry tomato, make it a tomato grown fresh in California.
Great. Now, a couple things. When we have repetitive movements, our voice becomes repetitive. So, variety. So this is what we're going to do now. I want you, every time you see a comma, I want you to go boom, boom, boom.
Okay.
Just practice that. Don't even say anything. Go boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
With each after each comma, do all 3?
Yeah, and then when
Okay.
you see the last part where it says tomato grown fresh, nod your head, and California, wiggle your bottom.
Okay.
Okay,
While
so you're
I'm
gonna
saying,
go bum bum. So you're gonna bum bum bum. So bum bum bum. Wiggle head, wiggle bottom. Let's try it now, just without saying the words. Go
Okay.
like this. Go bum bum bum. Head, bottom. Okay, let's do it again.
after
Bum bum bum. Head, bottom. One more time. Bum bum bum. Head, bottom. Now read the copy.
Okay. Whether your meal calls for a beefsteak tomato, a Mexican. Wait, I don't.
Don't. But this is
I
it.
feel like there's.
But what? God, you're strong. Man, look at those muscles.
All these
Okay,
things.
now
I didn't expect this coming up here.
I know, and
I'm strong too.
And the first person, in our classes always has the hardest time because you're the guinea pig. Everyone else is going, "Gosh, I'm glad I'm not you."
You're doing great.
Yeah, and they're all getting brilliant. You're just
Thank
going
you.
like you're just trying to protect yourself, and it's okay. It's all fine. So what happened here was talked about the soft brain. You said, "Okay, all I had to boom, 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 doom, doom." Okay, now I have to work. Hard brain. You were ready, and then you made yourself not ready.
Okay.
And that's why you didn't know what to do, because you went back into the brain and said, stop it. And that's why we have to make it just a reaction.
Okay.
So go ahead and do the actions and do it like 2 or 3 times in a row without stopping, then read it. Okay, go.
Boom, boom, boom.
Head, bottom. Do it, boom, boom, boom. Head,
bottom, boom, 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 head,
Bottom.
bottom.
Now read it.
Whether your meal calls for a beefsteak tomato, a Mexican...
Don't have to
wait,
try it.
so
Let me
am
help
I-
you. Let me
okay.
help you. Don't do anything.
Okay, whether your meal calls for a beefsteak tomato, a Mexican-style tomato, or a cherry
No,
tomato...
don't do anything. Just let me do it.
Okay.
Okay, you do nothing.
Am I still so after every okay.
Don't do anything. Don't think. Don't
Okay,
think.
okay,
Don't
I'm just
think.
gonna read.
Yeah, don't do think.
Okay.
Let me do it all the work for you. Just
All
stay
right.
loose. Okay, here we go.
Whether your meal calls for a beefsteak tomato, a Mexican-style tomato, or a cherry tomato, make it a tomato grown fresh in California. So, I'm doing each one as I'm reading it?
Yeah, every time you do
okay.
it, with a phrase till you get to the comma,
And then
phrase
the
till you
other
get to the next comma, and then then the other one with fresh, and then California.
Okay.
So you want to try without me doing the puppet show?
So each comma is one hand.
yeah.
And then, okay,
Yeah,
I
'cause
thought
you
I
were
had to do
working.
all these at the same time.
No, whether it calls for a beefsteak tomato, a Mexican-style tomato, or a cherry tomato. Make it a tomato grown fresh in California.
Okay. Okay.
You got it now? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Okay.
Whether your meal calls for a beefsteak tomato, a Mexican-style tomato, or a cherry tomato, make it a tomato grown fresh in California.
Much better, wasn't it? Yeah. Thank you. Yay. And this is where the chair feels really good at
Yeah.
this point. Okay, why don't you come on up?
We'll see what I screw up now.
Yeah, but this is the place to screw up.
It wasn't that bad, actually.
Yeah. So the screwing up in a class is where you want to do it. With the client, that's problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the more you screw up in a class, the better it is. Because there are more lessons to be learned. So, you got it? Which one are you going to do? So if it's down at the bottom, just put it at the top, because I just fold it over. Which one?
I was thinking either the news one or the bank one.
Okay, whichever one you want. Yeah, just because you're a tall one.
I'll do the news one.
Because you're a tall drink of water.
Exactly.
Give us some H2O on this.
I'm Joshua Johnson. Do ghosts exist? We'll talk to people who claim they have ghosts living in their homes. Is it a hoax or is it real? Find out tonight on News Center 13 at 11.
Okay, good. So it's pretty close. Now, the difference is that we can either go, here, watch this, or I know something you don't know. So let me just show you an example. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is you. Do ghosts exist? We'll talk to people. And I'm going to go, do ghosts exist? We'll talk to people who claim they have ghosts living in their homes. I know something more than you. The other one just says, watch this show. You know, what you have to do is actually pull people into you rather than go to them. You have to just go, boom, this is the way it works. So let's try it.
I'm Joshua Johnson.
Okay, you only have to slate your name
Okay.
once, but I like hearing it as many times as you want to say it.
Okay. I'm Joshua Johnson.
Okay, good, again.
Do ghosts exist?
Even quieter, do ghosts exist?
Do ghosts exist?
Okay, so what I'm missing is subtext here. So, do you think that there are ghosts? When would this be playing? During the sweeps, right? They bring out stuff, you know, it's like cameras, they're everywhere. They could be. They could be watching you
In
now.
your home, yeah.
Yeah, they could be in your home. Yeah. What is really happening with Nest? Are they seeing, is it being broadcast? What is up in the cloud? We'll find out next. Yeah, and then we go, oh my gosh, I gotta go watch it. So that's it, you gotta pull us in. You have to know that there are ghosts in our home, and you've seen them, Casper and all his buddies. Yeah, do ghosts exist? We'll talk to people who claim they have ghosts living in their homes. It's a scary, scary thing. Find out tonight. Then we go, now we got the answer. Find out tonight, that's our staccato one. And then it has a station on Channel 7, or Channel, whatever.
13.
Channel 13 at 11. Okay, here we go.
Do ghosts exist? We'll talk to people who claim they have ghosts living in their homes. Is it a hoax or is it real? Find out tonight on News Center 13 at 11.
That's much better. Now, what I want you to do is tighten every muscle in your body. Yeah. And have your movements really small, and bring your voice down just even more. Do ghosts exist? So tighten it like that. Go.
Do ghosts exist? We'll talk to people who claim they have ghosts living in their homes. Is it a hoax or is it real? Find out tonight on News Center 13 at 11.
Much better, wasn't that? Much better, yeah. Yeah, so what happened there is you became more of an authority. The other one, you were a voice talent. You say, hey, listen to me, I got some words, I know how to say them. Does my voice sound great?
It sounds kind of conspiracy theory-ish, like.
Well, what is your job? To make people watch the show and say, I have the answer. The other one just says, watch the show. How is that different than anything else? It's not. You have to say, we're more special this way. And that goes into styles. That's a whole other big lesson. Okay, thank you.
Good job.
Yay.
Scared to go after that.
Do you want to pick one for me? I've never done this before.
I don't care. I'll let you
okay.
pick.
I'm going to do the last one because I think it's kind of hard.
Okay, that's a good reason to pick it. Okay, I'm just going to move it here to the top, just so your head will be, woohoo, that's a little too much. Okay, let's try that.
Okay. And I'm Amy Kang.
Are you sure?
I'm Amy Kang.
No. But the reason why we say it slowly is because someone has to write you a check. And who will they write it to? I'm Amy? I'm Amy is your name?
I'm Amy Kang.
Just say, don't even say the I'm yet. You're not ready for that.
Okay. Amy Kang.
Amy King, is that one word? Is like share? You know, or what is it? We had the two hands, Amy King.
Amy Kang.
Isn't that better? Now we understand what it is. But it also takes us a while to figure out what someone's saying. So this is why a lot of times when you go to parties or different events, people tell you their name and it goes, phew, goes completely out of your head. They don't know how to say their name. And they've said it in a way that's mud in our brain. So also one of the things I learned from someone who ended up making $3 million a year for, $1 million a year for 3 years in a row doing voiceovers. I laughed at him when we were learning how to do voiceovers together because he'd always say his name really slowly. I don't laugh anymore because it apparently worked. Because when he would go to the agency to pick up his checks, they would be that thick. Mine would be in a little envelope. So I thought, well, that's why he says his name slowly, and it left a lasting impression. So say your name even slower.
Amy Kang.
Even better. Okay, great.
Okay. Now's your chance to get an ice-cold latte without breaking the bank. $1.59 at any Latte Express location. Can you say cha-ching?
Good. So this is similar to a McDonald's spot. So what we have here is we have to think about a situation. I mentioned that before. It's about storytelling. So this is another style script. So with this style, you have to think, why am I saying it's now's your chance? So why would I, without breaking the bank, why would I say now's your chance? It could be 3 o'clock in the afternoon for someone to go to work, or someone to go, come on, now's your chance. You know, the boss isn't looking anymore. Let's go. You know, what is the reason? You got to find some sort of situation. So tell me what situation you would create for yourself.
Um,
And apparently they are vacuuming down the hall right now to get that little buzz. So,
it's the middle of the afternoon and you're like sleepy and you need a coffee.
okay, but you're talking to someone, and yeah, so, well, now's your chance, but do you want them to come with you? Just like, now's your chance to get an ice cold latte without breaking the bank. Okay, so let's try that. Go like this, the first part, and break
Okay.
it. Without breaking the bank, gesture this way. Don't back away from the mic.
Okay, I just don't want to hit this thing.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's so funny. We stand this close to people, and we usually don't hit them either.
Okay.
So, but all of a sudden you put equipment in front of people and they get weirded out. Now, one of the things that you do is, once you step aside for a moment, when you get in front of a stand, you have all this room here. Instead, the only thing that we see is, I have this. You know, but we have this, we have that, we have all this space. So I want you to own that space first.
Okay. Owning it.
Own it just means,
Okay.
you know, move your hands around it. Don't assume it will be there. It's the same as when you go to someone's house. And then if you go to someone's house, let's pretend like I've never been to this place before, and I go, oh, this is your chair? You know, and we have a little bounce or we have something, we act kind of awkward, and people go, oh, yeah, that's the hard chair. But instead, when it's yours, you just sort of know what to do, and it doesn't look as awkward. But that's, so you can tell someone who's just gone to an environment, whether it's than someone who lives in that environment. We have to live in this environment. So really show,
Okay.
you know, own the space. I mean, don't assume. Don't assume, really. The more you do, the more it's yours. The less you do, the less it's yours.
Okay.
So you're going to do less then. You've chosen to do less. I mean, I'm just
Okay.
saying.
All right.
And also, what about underneath? You don't have to move the stand. You do not have to. See, you're giving this more power than you.
Okay.
You're saying this is in my way. These two things make you money. You need them there. So why get rid of it? So what I want you to do is just put your hands underneath it. Look at all that space. Now go above it. Now look at that. Put it right in front like this. Now you've got it. Does it feel better? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I wanted you to do. So now say that first line. Now's your chance without breaking the bank. Just out and.
Now's your chance to get an ice cold latte.
Now's your chance to get an ice cold latte without breaking the bank. We're also going with phrases. So when we start reading, it's like we've gone back to second grade. We don't know where our phrases are anymore. It's really weird. It's also like we've never heard commercials before in our lives. I mean, I have the school, and I've had it for 28 years, so I'm not saying anything new. It's something I have seen forever, and something I went through myself, in order to learn this process, is that where does it go? This is how our brain works. It has these little boxes, shoe boxes, I'm sure they are. They're in our brain, and they don't know how to access each other yet. And as soon as they do, we go, oh, that's it. And that's why we have that snap. Got it. So now, only thing I want you to go, now's your chance to do the ice cold latte, which is the first phrase, without breaking the bank. So just put left hand out through latte, right hand back through without breaking the bank. Go.
Okay. Now's your chance to get an ice cold latte without breaking the bank.
See, wasn't that nice?
Yeah. It did sound much better.
Yeah.
It's weird, but yes.
It's funny that I have a school. So anyway.
It felt much more
It
comfortable.
should, because it feels more like you talking.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So this is also $1.59. Is $1.59 a lot or a little?
It's a little.
So shrug your shoulders. Oh, $1.59. Don't we say that? How much did it cost? No, $5. Don't we say that all the time? No, it's 50 cents, $3. So that's a natural thing that we do every single day. Just say $1.59.
$1.59.
And now, where is the Latte Express location? Where is it?
Any Latte Express.
Point to it.
Oh, okay. At any Latte Express location.
There we go. So now do that sentence. Shrug and then point.
Okay. $1.59 at any Latte Express location.
Yeah, except don't look at me until you finish the last sentence. Okay, just that.
So $1.59 at any Latte Express location.
Good. Now, would you know what cha-ching means?
Yeah, it's like money, cha-ching.
Okay, good. Oh, that was nice. See, that was a natural reaction. Yeah, it means cha-ching. Yeah, and then we go, can you say cha-ching? No, but then we'll explain it, and we go, it's like, no, do the thing that's natural. So what happens is at first, we don't use our natural instincts. And after a while, our natural instincts take over. But we have to overtrain them in order to then go back to do the thing that is very natural. So now, can you put all that together without saying the words? Show me your gestures.
Okay, so my gestures
1, 2,
are
3, 4, 5 gestures.
Now's your chance.
Now left hand.
Sorry.
Left hand, right hand. Shoulder.
This is a lot to remember.
And then that's why you want to put your body in it first.
Okay.
Because if it's in your brain, it would be the equivalent of a stage actor holding their script during the play. Because they have to know the words. When they have it memorized, they put it in their body. They know that when I walk over to this area, I say these lines. When I look at you, I say these lines. So that's what we're doing. We're changing it to make it more like a finished performance rather than its first rehearsal. So good. So now what you do is wait and see how the body goes into it. So go ahead and do bump, bump, shrug, do all that. Boom, boom, shrug. Do it again. Do it like 3 times in a row and then start. As soon as your brain doesn't think about it anymore, you got it. Okay, keep going. If your brain's still in there. It's getting better. One more time, and then read it after that. Read.
Okay. Now's your chance to get an ice cold latte without breaking the bank. $1.59 at any Latte Express location. Can you say cha-ching?
Can you say
Oh,
cha-ching?
you didn't do it the way, yeah.
Close. $1.59. I just raised the rate. I guess they had well, Starbucks
I'll try it
has, so
again.
they figure they can charge more. So
Now's your chance to get an ice cold latte without breaking the bank.